Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm not fishing today. I'm hoping to go fishing tomorrow. But what I'm doing is I bought me, because, let me get this right. I've been struggling to get the boat I built titled. So I can't go back down to the tag office till after payday again, which is another week for that. And then I still got to find a trailer for that boat. But I got all the other paperwork in order for that boat. But the day I went to try to title it and got all frustrated, I ran across a deal I just couldn't pass up. I bought another boat with a little small trailer. Now the trailer may pose me problems. I got to figure that one out. But the boat, it looked like it only needed some minor repair. And when I first saw it, I planned on repainting it because I'm not into the camo boat thing. A lot of people are, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this little boat that I bought, let me turn this camera around, is a 13'6" Gheenoe style boat. This one is a Happy Traveler. And like I said, when I first saw it and first bought it, it looked like it only needed some minor repair. But when I flipped it upside down, now I've already started a little bit of sanding here. When I flipped it upside down, I saw that there's a more extensive damage to this boat than I originally thought there was. So I got to get almost all the gel coat off of this boat to solve all this cracking and peeling. This is a 1983 Gheenoe style boat. Like I said, it's 13'6", but this one is actually called a Happy Traveler. So I don't know if they were first or if Gheenoe was first. I haven't done any research on that, but it's right here. But I've got a bunch of places to fix on it. See all this spidering, cracking, chipping, all this has got to come off. Otherwise the boat will draw in water. The water will get into the glass. See the busted area here? I didn't see the bottom when I first looked at it. But this is no big deal. It's not a hard repair. It's just going to be some time to do. And if I can, I'm going to get my grinder together. See here? All right, guys. I had patched this. I still got to grind here. Or sand, not grind. But I got this all patched, sanded down for the most part. I got a few little technical areas. Still got to do some sanding on the side. But if I can get a better video picture of it. See the top, all these dark marks, which is under dust right now, is where I filled in with structural compound, which is nothing but a gel coat with silica in it. But it's getting there. I just spent probably 2.5 hours sanding on it. You see, I need to sand all the old numbers off. I've scraped them off with the razor. Now I got to sand the residue off so I can paint it properly. All right, I got this thing all sanded down. I actually put, let me get it in the background a little bit right there. I actually took a gallon of gel coat, and gel coat has gotten really expensive, but I took a gallon of gel coat, and after I got everything ground down, after everything was sanded down, I went over the entire hull with a whole gallon of gel coat, and then I spent hours resanding again down to 320 grit sandpaper, sanding everything, trying to get everything smoothed out and ready to spray. And then I got it sprayed, and so I've got a lot of what I call orange peel. Other people might not quite call it orange peel, but let me see if I can get this camera turned around. I don't know how well you can see, but right there it's just real light, real light orange peel. It's not bad at all. So I'm going to start sanding it with 400 I got to sand this entire boat down with 400, and then I'm going to progress it down. I'm going to progress the sandpaper down. I'm going to go 400, then I'm going to go 600, then I'm going to go 800, then I'm going to go 1,000, then I'm going to go 1,200 to try to get a mirror finish on this thing. And what I'm doing now, what all this white is right now, is a guide coat. Now this is a black gel coat, so I'm using a white guide coat. And it's really simple to use. A little bit does go a long ways, but I just shake a little bit onto the foam mat, and then just kind of rub it on there. And what that does is it shows me what I need to sand. So this actually works down into every little nook and cranny to help me sand it. So if I back this camera up some, but it just works down there, and it just goes a really, really long ways. I've already done one section with 400 grit paper after putting some guide coat on it, and I'm gonna have to go to Harbor Freight and get some more. But you can see the difference here. If I zoom in, you see how the guide coat actually marks all the low areas. This one I've already went over with 400 grit paper. I still see some defects, like right there, here, you know, just different little places. I gotta get, you know, sand it just a little bit more. I don't wanna over sand it a little bit more. So I'm gonna get back to it. I'll show you after the boat, after I get the 400 grit done. And then we'll see what else happens after that. All right, guys. Now I got it all buffed out, painted, buffed out, and polished. And I've got a really good finish on this thing for the most part. There's a couple of little dull areas, mainly in the back here. You can see the polish marks. I'm not really happy with the Meguiar's buffing compound, but it is what it is. But you can see I've got my mirror finish on here. You can almost see the details of my hand. You can see the truck out back, the concrete mixer, you know, stuff like that. So all in all, this turned out good. But now the next thing is I got to figure out how to turn this thing over without damaging it, because I'm by myself today. I'll be by myself tomorrow if I come out here and work on it tomorrow. But it's all buffed out. I mean, it's painted, it's sanded down. I got it sanded down to 1200. Buffed it out, waxed it, also Meguiar's wax. Like I said, I'm not real happy with the buffing compound. The wax wasn't bad, but the buffing compound I wasn't too happy with. But it's time to turn it over and start on the inside. All right, well, I got it turned over. Get this camera right. Got it turned over. Started vacuuming it out. I got a lot of cleanup to do on the inside. I got to see if I either got to make a hatch or if I can buy one from the surplus store, a marine surplus store on International. But I'm gonna get this thing completely cleaned up, get all this old caulking off, get this areas like this patched, this crack patched. And I noticed down here in the hull, I got a big patch there. So I gotta grind that out, fix it. Starting to rain again. Fix it. And then I can paint the inside of this thing after everything's cleaned up and fixed. Paint the inside of this thing, and I think I'm going to go with a off-white. I don't know if I want to go with a brown to offset the white, or a black to offset the white to make a gray or a tan. Super light, just so it's not a high reflective. And then do a webbing with black webbing, with black gel coat to do a webbing on the inside as the decorative design. So I'm gonna call it quits for today, and I'll get back on this tomorrow. Well, I got it flipped over, got everything on the inside cleaned out, buffed up, vacuumed out, blown out. It was a lot of cleaning to do. And then I've got the entire inside painted and webbed. I wished I could web like my dad used to be able to. It actually looked like webs, but mine's more like speckles. I think most people's is. But let me turn the camera around and show you what I got. I still have to put the rails, the lights, everything. I got to find a hatch for the center. Well, there it is, guys. But still got a lot of work to do to it. I wished I could spray the webbing like my dad used to. When he'd do it, it actually looked like webbing. When I do it, and when most other people I've seen do it, it looks more like speckles. I even added just a little extra webbing solution in there to try to do it, but that's it. Now I still have to put all the rails on, or both rails on here. I need to see if I can find a hatch to fit over the live well area, which is not going to be a live well area. I'm not going to put a live well in it. I'm going to put a plug in it, and I'm going to be able to hold drinks right in there on ice. But there it is. Now, after I get the rails on, this will go on top of it and fasten to the rails. My light will go up here. I'm kind of halfway thinking about making a piece for the trolling motor to attach to, but the rail might suffice just good enough. But there we go. Let me back up, get a full view from the front. See, right there. You can see the reflections in the side of the gel coat in the black. I mean, it's a really good reflection. See my hand? There's my reflection. I got that mirror finish on there that I wanted. I was not happy with the McGuire's compound, polishing compound. That was a pain in the rear to use, but it got done. I got dust on the side I can clean off later. But like I said, I still got to put the rails on. I still got to get the hatch for that. I got to get seats for it. So, but the hard work is done. But at least this one's coming together better than the one I built. The one I built is right there. And it's titled and registered. I just got to get a trailer for it.